You're listening to the Platte River Bard.
Hello, and welcome to the Platte River Bard. This is Chris Berger.
And I'm Sherry Berger.
And today we are here with Mitch Bean and Rachel Curtis of the Brownville Village Theatre. They are creative directors both, or artistic directors both, I guess I should say. Welcome, both of you, to the podcast, to our little podcast here.
Yes,
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you for having us.
Yes. Thank you. Well, we were just so excited to see that you were doing a Christmas show that I had to call you and wanted to chat with you about what you're doing. So you're doing the Sanders Family Christmas, and it opens this Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, December 3rd.
Yeah,
that is correct.
Do you want to tell us what it's about?
Yeah, absolutely. So Sanders Family Christmas is a musical. It is sort of in a gospel bluegrass style. Almost more of a review. It is about this family who are coming to perform at this church, the Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, and it's December 24th, 1941. So Pearl Harbor just happened.
Oh, yes.
And their son is preparing to go off to war. So it's the last time they're all going to get to sing together for a while. They're a traveling bluegrass family, I should say. And along with the pastor, Mervyn Oglethorpe, they do a lot of storytelling and just singing these different bluegrass renditions of Christmas carols and also of sort of original Christmas bluegrass music and gospel. And obviously there's a religious tone to the whole show, but it's very much, what do I want to say, sort of this nostalgic Christmas story about this family and at an important time in their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is North Carolina, so it's truly kind of southern bluegrass.
Yeah, in the heart of bluegrass country there. This, of course, is a sort of a sequel. We were talking earlier. You guys have done the Smoke on the Mountain show, which this is a direct sequel to, and then I guess you guys there's three of these, and you said you skipped ahead and you've done the third one. So you've done the first one and you've done the third one. So now Christmas time.
We needed to complete the series.
Yes,
so.
you complete the circle.
And it's always been one of our audience's favorite shows. They still talk about it to this day. The Smoke on the Mountains, and I don't know if some of them. I'm sure they don't. A lot of them don't realize that there is a Christmas one. So we were like, this show is going to be perfect for us this December. We've always wanted to do it, but doing Christmas all summer just seemed a little out of place for us.
Right.
So we just thought it was the perfect time to do a show that everyone's just going to fall in love with and something that we wanted to do. And so we're excited to do it, and we're excited for the audience to see it.
So it might seem like it's just music, but there really is a story and a script behind it. So
yes. Absolutely.
And continuing characters from the first one to the second one, I guess you guys were saying. So
yes.
If you have seen the other ones, these characters are back.
And
they're all back.
And this really goes with your genre too, because really Brownville is kind of it's theater, but it's also you also do music. It's kind of a country feel.
Yeah.
Yes, it definitely fits into. I mean, just the poster itself is actually just a picture of the theater at Christmas time because the theater is a converted church.
Yes.
And so we don't have to do a whole lot to sort of sell the location and the setting, especially at this time of year.
Yeah, the theater is painted white and red, so it already looks like Christmas in general. So, but it's really fun. It fits with the whole theme of Brownville. Brownville's Christmas celebration that they have is called Old Time Christmas. So, I feel like the show really fits in with the whole village. It's a village of Brownville.
Yeah, it sounds like something everybody really needs right now too. So
yeah.
Bluegrass Christmas sounds great
our
to
motivation,
me.
really.
Yeah, get back to it. So So you have a little bit going on in the wintertime, and then you start back up in the spring?
Yep, we start like early March. We always do a children's workshop for a weekend. Something that we've started since we've taken over. So this year will be our fourth.
2021.
Oh, it'll be our fifth.
Our fifth.
Oh, fifth. All right, number 5.
Wonderful.
We
actually have never skipped the workshop so far because it was the last thing we did before the pandemic.
Oh, yeah, because you do it in March. So, yeah, you guys got it in right under the gun.
We did. And then last year we had some restrictions and everything with it, but we were still able to hold it, and it went really well, and we're excited to get back to that. And it's been so fun for us this new endeavor that we really didn't plan on doing. But we knew we needed to do something new here, and it's been so fun for us to work with kids, and especially kids that don't have the resources to go to Omaha or Lincoln to do the children's workshops there. Sure. And so it's really just great to teach them about theater and see them grow. And it's this year, since it is number 5, our second graders from the first year are now going to be in the older class this year, and our younger class is going to be, I'm sure it will grow, but it's our younger class is going to be the smaller class this year, and the older class is going to be the bigger class, which has never happened.
Okay.
So it's really exciting.
So we kind of feel like we're been kind of growing up with this same core group of a little over 10 kids in each class. So, I mean, less than 20 kids, but that are very devoted to this and look forward to it. And it's been something that obviously a lot of theaters struggle with. Their audiences getting older, and where we are at, particularly in Nebraska, it certainly is the case. And to try to widen our audience and also just give back to the community of this part of Nebraska, if rural southeastern Nebraska, is it's a joy.
I just love the fact that some of the small towns do theater.
So once we do what we call the Young Performers Workshop, we will be in full swing of preparation for our summer repertory season, which is going into its 55th season.
Yes.
Wow.
I know that.
Wow.
55th season. And that's a tradition that I say it is a tradition, but it is so steeped in tradition. We cast young actors, primarily from a college theater festival, and they are from all over the Midwest and sometimes further than that, sometimes all over the U.S., and bring them to the tiny village of Brownville, and they all live together, and we all put up 5 shows as a company of actors who also do tech and we do everything.
Wow. And I've heard so much about it, and I know we kind of refer to it as boot camp, but it's really an intensive course. It's almost like, since you're in a church, it's almost like Church of Theater, actually.
Kind of, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Super intense.
It sounds wonderful.
It does sound wonderful.
And what a fantastic education for young actors to be able to participate and not just, go be an actor in a production, but all the aspects of the production everybody is helping on. I think that is invaluable.
I think it is too.
And it informs everything you do. The more you know, the better you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it makes you a better actor to understand the different elements of tech. And over our time here, I've also been surprised at how many actors have enjoyed an area of tech so much that they have went on to pursue that instead.
Yeah.
Because they enjoyed it and found their love of it while doing it here.
So how did you both get started in theater? I know you're young and you're just starting out still, probably in your career. but how did you get started?
I grew up outside of Wichita, Kansas, and I went to larger school, like essentially in the Wichita suburbs. And I had always been extremely interested in theater and just in performing in general. Anything even remotely related to performance, I had always been deeply interested in, and writing scripts for my siblings and things like that. Just all that cliche stuff that you hear from people. And so I started doing it in middle school, and there's actually a decent drama program at the high school I went to. And then, I graduated from Wichita State with my bachelor's in theater performance.
Oh, wow.
So,
excellent.
and then we both actually, I don't mean to hijack this part of the story, but it's kind of the same for both of us. After I graduated, we both moved to Chicago together, and we did some theater there, and we certainly pursued theater there as well.
Neat.
And
living the dream.
that's kind of my background up to this point.
And for me, I mean, it was kind of the same. I was mainly involved in like music stuff in high school, and then I got into like speech and that. And I feel like my friends just needed somebody in one of their one-act plays or something, and so I did that, and I really liked it. And we only did like one play a year in high school, so I wasn't like heavily involved in theater in high school, but I had done other performance. Then I went to college, and I was going to be a music ed major, and I was doing theater in college more because there was more shows. And I just decided that I really wanted to pursue that. And mainly acting was what I wanted to do, but I was so far into my music studies that I decided to keep that. So my degree is in vocal performance and theater. And so, I mean, I did that and came to Brownville in 2012 after college, and went to Chicago for a while, and then I came back to Brownville, and now we're still here.
Yeah.
So you didn't grow up in Brownville?
Nope. I'm from Southeast Iowa.
Okay.
Okay.
And you met
Here at Brownville.
You met at Brownville.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
We met in 2012
Neat.
here.
Oh.
We were both first-time company members.
Oh, and then you said, "Hey, let's get together and go to Chicago."
Yeah. But we had separately, before we knew each other, decided we were going to move to Chicago.
Yeah.
And then we started dating after our first summer, and then we decided that it would be easier if we could just move to Chicago together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then we had this opportunity to take over as artistic directors in 2018. So we decided to move to Omaha and pursue BVT.
Wow. Back to where you guys met each other and had so many great memories of that.
Yeah.
That's really neat. So have you guys gotten married yet? Or are you
Yeah.
Yes.
married? Okay.
Yeah, we are
I
married.
almost
Yeah,
didn't
we got
ask. I
married.
didn't want to be too intrusive, but
Oh,
No, it's not
I
intrusive
guess
at
we
all.
should have
Okay.
said that part of our story. But yeah, we got married in 2018 here at the theater.
Oh,
And
so
we had a
cool.
whole bunch of alumni come to our wedding, and we actually have a picture of everybody on the front steps, and it's
cool.
it's great. And now we have it. The theater is lined with everybody's headshot that's ever been a company member.
Oh,
wow.
And there's also just like very like special pictures that are up on the wall, and so we've added our wedding photo with all the alumni.
Because it's part of the story
Because it's
now.
part of the story. Yes.
Yeah.
Whether you call it coincidence or fate or whatever, the original artistic directors, the legendary Henry and Phyllis Blanky, who ran it as artistic director. Well, he was the artistic director for 30 years, but she ran it right alongside him, and they were a married couple. And I think it has to be a love story at BVP because it's such a, what do you want to say, like a little engine that could type of situation.
Right.
It's faced floods, and I mean, everything that you could think really that's been thrown at a theater. The Brownville Village Theatre has certainly went through its trials, I guess I should say.
Sure.
So if you don't love it,
exactly.
I don't know how you can do it.
Exactly.
It's like
true.
another marriage. Well, you need each other. It sounds like there's so much to do there that you really need each other, and you need two people who can work together so closely that they complement each other. So it makes sense that you guys are together in real life too.
I wanted to make sure we mentioned because for the holidays, not only are you guys doing
Yes, I know where you're going.
the show there, but you guys have put together, and specifically, Rachel, you have adapted Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol And you guys have done a radio theater production of this, which I think is just marvelous.
It's a great adaptation. We were both really floored when we listened to them.
Yep, and you can listen to that off of their website.
And you have plans to do other things like that possibly in the future as well.
Yeah.
Yes, we'd like to revisit it, certainly.
Yeah.
And whether we go back to the live radio theater here at the theater, we certainly found a love of doing the recorded audio theater and putting BVT's name on it. It was something that we had a lot of fun doing, and it's fun to listen to now. It's captured.
And it's fun for us, I think, to dabble in different kinds of theater. So I think that was one of the things that I enjoyed from it. Was, doing something that we don't always do, and we had to figure out how to edit this all together, and so it provided us some challenges, and it was fun.
Yeah, voice work and creating a kind of a dramatic or whatever presentation of something is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yes, it is. And I can see how you would get very addicted to keep doing that kind of stuff, because it is a ton of fun. Voice work's a ton of fun.
But you normally have shows where it's a live radio show, right?
Yeah. That's what we had started to do. COVID obviously threw everybody off track, and it certainly threw us off track. But we had done 2 Christmas. The original one was the Joe Landry version of It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play, which inspired me to adapt A Christmas Carol as a live radio play. And that led to me after, or during COVID rather, to write Frankenstein, to adapt Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and then to further fix the adaptation of A Christmas Carol so that it would work in the actual just audio format.
Yeah, it's a different way to do it. So what's the biggest thing that you've learned? What's the best way to approach something that you want to do an adaptation of? What is the process? Do you have to? Feel like you have to?
Great question. I think. I wish that it was more of a inspiration thing, that it came from just like something that I wanted to do, and not rather the fact that we are like, what can we do? And I think so much of the things that I have written or that we have done here at the theater outside of the traditional summer season has been, what can we do? And but I guess we start at that point, and then I don't know. I don't know where I get the confidence to believe that I could do it, but I just read it and think, well, this, if I could see it in my mind, this is what I think should happen, and these are the important parts. Christmas Carol was much easier to adapt than Mary Shelley's Frankenstein because it's so long.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so long.
Yes.
But the short story was much easier, and also because there's so many different forms of A Christmas Carol there's movies, and I've seen it performed, the play so many times that you know instinctively what are the parts that you have to put in.
Sure.
The iconic lines that if they weren't in there, I would be listening and saying, hey, they forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to hear this line or whatever.
But also things that we found with like Frankenstein was because Universal Studios made a movie, I don't remember the year, but they have copyrighted Frankenstein's monster as like being green and having all these things. Yes. So we had to be careful about like what we legally could like take from, because everybody has this like preconceived notion of what it looks like, what Frankenstein's monster looks like. But in the original story, it never says anything about him being green.
No,
so
it does not.
I don't know. There was just things that we found that we had to be careful.
I bet you did. Yeah, I know. Universal has those classic monsters locked down pretty hard. Yeah, for sure. But I adore the original Frankenstein story. I was so surprised when I read it for the first time that Frankenstein speaks and is a, you know, is like a real, is not just like a grunting monster.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
I was absolutely fascinated. I adore that book. So yeah, no, excellent job on the adaptation for sure.
Yeah, we were really impressed. So many things that you guys are doing now down there. Thank you so much for talking to us and letting us talk to you about it.
Yeah. Well, we love that.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you for listening and supporting the arts in the Platte River area and beyond. Please subscribe to our podcast so you are sure to catch all of our future episodes and join us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Music for this podcast was used with permission by Screaming Skull Productions. See you next time on the Platte River Bard.